S console on the drums. Yeah, that's nice, I like that. It's fat. So if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that N console is my go-to for the analog, warm, rich sound. I wasn't looking for another console simply because the N console is incredible. But now that Sonimus has sent me the S console, I might have to rethink things and it might just replace the N console. So today I'm sharing why the SSL is taking over my mixes. So what's working for me right now? So I'm using the S console, not just as a tool, but the foundation to my mixes. So if you don't know how to set up this console, I'm going to show you how I'm using it or how to use it. So the first thing I'm going to do is drop it on your first instance and on your main bus, drop it on there and set it to master grouping. So if you've got buses, like your drum buses, your instrument buses, music, vocals, background vocals, whatever it is that you use inside your mix, then you can set that up on a mixer, the mixer inside the S console. Now I'm going to go over all I won't go into too much detail on all the different parts because I just want you to understand how to get that sound so your mixes don't sound sterile and flat. Just give it some life. So that's the master grouping. So you've got the channel and then you've got the bus. So we stick to channel for the channels and then we choose bus for buses, which I'll show you shortly as I get to the buses. So one thing I like about the S console is being able to gain stage. So if you're gain staging drums, you want to use 26 dB FS. So when you're gain staging, if you're mixing your percussive sounds, your drums, snares, toms and whatnot, you want to use minus 26 dBFS. That just gives you a bit more headroom and you don't have to pull down your fader like how I've done in this one. And the only reason I've done that is because I forgot. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Minus 26 dBFS for your percussive sounds. That's why I've had to put it down so much here. The other thing you might notice is when you start to gain stage. Let me turn these off. You might see your level doing the most. It might be too high. So all you've got to do is use a meter pre, which flips the fader to the output, and then you can just turn down or turn up the output, which is a nice feature, nice touch. So just to quickly go through, you've got your VU calibration. You can change the different ones, minus 14 to minus 26. You've got push, that adds some extra warmth and drive to your signal. Then you've got trimmer's drive. I don't really use that much. I don't really like it, if I'm honest. I haven't had much reason to use it, so that's why I haven't used it. Got your meter pre, which I just showed you, and you've got your filters pre, which again just flips the filters before your output. When you group your channel, you're going to notice down here will change. So when I group that to drums, you can't affect that anymore. You can only affect it or turn it on and off on the master grouping channel. I'll show you. So if you look here, you can control it here on your channels, and you can also change it to buses. So you just affect the buses, or you can just affect, well, you can affect both, which is handy. I'm going to stick with channels. Actually, should I? Yeah, I'm going to stick with channels. Okay, so then you got over here, you've got the crosstalk, which is a nice touch as well. You can leave it a no crosstalk, which bleeds into the other channel, so it's acting like a proper console. Vintage is a little bit more obvious, and then you've got modern, which is you're not going to really hear it that much. So I'm just going to leave it on vintage. So with the buses, I've got some buses down there. I've got my all drums bus, and I've got music, all effects and main vocals, which is the same as this S console here, master group. And I've just renamed them up here to the same as that, and I can control the volume levels on that as well. Very handy. So let's just turn fat off, bypass, turn it on. So you've got the S console buses, and to change that, you've got to do is click left on the top left there, and change it to buses. And you just group it to whatever group that you need to. So I'm going to run this mixer with the S console on and off. I'm going to turn it on, turn it off, see if you can hear the difference, how you think it feels, and then I'll engage the fat, and I'll change the crosstalk and the color as well. I won't talk through it, I'm just going to change it. So yeah, just keep your eyes peeled.
Knows my only What's it mean when you feel like you can't talk? You withdraw, feeling sore and you can't ignore. Raw thoughts, but you won't speak, don't speak. Can't speak, lost strength, now you feel weak. You're not weak, just protecting what your heart seeks. Your heart seeks the kind of truth that you won't speak. Do speak, truth be told like it's last week. Last week I lost my way just to find peace. I found peace, now I'm looking for the missing piece. The missing piece, square roots got me digging deep. Digging deep all night, plus in my sleep. In my sleep I saw the shepherd talking to the sheep. Lost sheeps, black sheeps, man it went deep. So deep, in depth, where it go left. The chose left, told right without the insight. With insight, set sparks to ignite light.
Yours my only option. Hope you're ready for a fight.
What's it mean when you feel like you can't talk? You withdraw, feeling sore and you can't ignore. Raw thoughts, but you won't speak, don't speak. Can't speak, lost strength, now you feel weak.
So for me, I just love the way that it fills out the low end, and it feels like it gives it a bit more energy, a bit more, obviously it's a bit more saturation because it's a saturation unit, or it's adding saturation, which is nice. And I feel like the vocals are a lot smoother, more up front, and just, I don't know, it just sounds really nice. So what I want to do is, I want to flip between the S console and the N console, and yeah, you make up your mind to see which one you prefer. So S console first and then N console.
What's it mean when you feel like you can't talk? You withdraw, feeling sore and you can't ignore.
Wait, let me just make sure that we've got the same settings. So we've got vintage, master loudness and that. Okay, let's go.
What's it mean when you feel like you can't talk? You withdraw, feeling sore and you can't ignore. Raw thoughts, but you won't speak, don't speak. Can't speak, lost strength, now you feel weak. Your heart seeks the kind of truth that you won't speak. Do speak, truth be told like it's last week. Last week I lost my way just to find peace. I found peace, now I'm looking for the missing piece. The missing piece, square roots got me digging deep. Digging deep all night, plus in my sleep. In my sleep I saw the shepherd talking to the sheep. Lost sheeps, black sheeps, man it went deep.
Yeah, so for me, like I said already, I feel like the S console gives it, I don't know, like it gives the vocals a bit more push forward. Maybe because I turned up the volume and then. But I don't know, just the overall sound, I like the S console. I feel like both of them have got their uses. So if you've got both of them, then you can throw them on first and second instance, same settings, and just flip between the two, see which one you prefer. I'm just going to try it with drums. S console on the drums. Yeah, that's nice, I like that. It's fat. Vocals.
What's it mean when you feel like you can't talk? You withdraw, feeling sore and you can't ignore. Raw thoughts, but you won't speak, don't speak. Can't speak, lost strength, now you feel weak. You're not weak, just protecting what your heart seeks. Your heart seeks the kind of truth that you won't speak. Do speak, truth be told like it's last week. Last week I lost my way just to find peace. I found peace, now I'm looking for the missing piece. The missing piece, square roots got me digging deep. Digging deep all night, plus in my sleep.
You can also use this up here, it's called drive. So if you wanted to, you can drive some more saturation into that. Let's see what that does.
What's it mean when you feel like you can't talk? You withdraw, feeling sore and you can't ignore. Raw thoughts, but you won't speak, don't speak.
Nice. Let's hear it with the mix.
What's it mean when you feel like you can't talk? You withdraw, feeling sore and you can't ignore. Raw thoughts, but you won't speak, don't speak. Can't speak, lost strength, now you feel weak. You're not weak, just protecting what your heart seeks. Your heart seeks the kind of truth that you won't speak. Do speak, truth be told like it's last week. Last week I lost my way just to find peace. I found peace, now I'm looking for the missing piece. The missing piece, square roots got.
Ooh, the way them drums sound when you push that drive.
What's it mean when you feel like you can't talk? You withdraw, feeling sore and you can't ignore. Raw thoughts, but you won't speak, don't speak. Can't speak, lost strength, now you feel weak. You're not weak, just protecting what your heart seeks. Your heart seeks the kind of truth that you won't speak. do speak, truth be told.
Sonimus have come through again with a decent sounding plugin. And like I said, it has its uses. Both of them have their uses. I'm not saying that the end console's gone. I just have options now. So if you're struggling with flat mixes, just try this in your mixes and see how much of a difference it makes. So now you know what S console can do. You need a vocal chain that's gonna level up your mixes. Watch this video next.